we'll just say, like, you're on your laptop, like, I don't know, looking up Skillshare, trying to think of, like, new things to do.
Gotta get
Please,
my skills shared.
please sponsor me, Skillshare. I'll take the money, please.
She's like, there is sort of like people get sick, so maybe I could look Skillshare up for like being a nurse.
Yeah, so, pretty much, like, this has been a normal thing, just you getting into your headspace. Then, you basically hear a knock on your, door.
She'll pause the video and she'll say, who's there?
I think you know.
She'll like get up and open the door. What do you want?
The person you see on the floor looks, like, slightly taller than you, and he's pretty much got, like, the same skin complexion, and his hair is just kind of, like, auburn brown, essentially, and his eyes look a little dull. Very Slavish in nature. You know this as your cousin Vladimir goes by Vlad around the school.
Oh, well, what do you want, Vlad?
Hey, I figured you were bored. You know, had to have stung getting knocked out the competition as bad as you did.
She just like, she'll be like, yeah, I'm pretty bored. Did Dad send you?
I mean, not particularly. If you don't want me around, you can just say it and I'll go.
No, sorry, just used to him keeping tabs on me all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like that loss was like not public.
He'll just kind of shrug. At this point, he's already, like, walked into your bedroom, and he's kind of, like, leans up onto your bed, like, sitting on it, but his back, like, hits the wall, so it's almost like a chair.
Yeah, because he's taller than me.
Yeah.
So
And,
kinda...
and then he'll just basically shrug it. What can you do? Us Russians tend to be very aggressive. I don't know why, but we are.
Yeah, just... I don't know. Maybe this is what I needed to finally take the steps I want to take.
Tell me, have you noticed anything of Tilter?
Well, I just thought maybe it was extra stressful with how they amped up the competition. Like it had higher stakes for some people, and you know how high achievers get.
Fair enough. Ambition's always a killer more than it is an adversary. Wait, that's the same thing. More of a killer than an actual ally would be the proper terming.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I don't think the people who ended up getting far in the competition were the ones who were expected to.
Well, you always have to keep an eye out for the surprise.
That's true. And she rolls her eyes. She's like, yeah, it didn't help that Sakura won our bet.
What'd Sakura tell you?
Well, we were just looking at I was looking at the competition and decided a bet on the side wouldn't be too bad, except I was wrong, so I for sure thought I was gonna beat Daniel, for example. Or some of the stops other competitors went to were just...
It wouldn't be the first time us Russians were surprised by Germans doing better than they should have.
She laughs. That's true, but also there seems to be... I've also noticed a little bit teachers being more withdrawn from the students like if they have a favorite in the past, they used to just encourage you more, maybe give you more extra credit, but it seems like, I don't know, it just seems like they're more distant.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could contribute that to everyone that lives with each other at this school. Little toxic, little closed in.
That's true. Or the fact that we she'll pause and she'll say, I don't know, it seems with things going on in the world that my previous obsessions just seem a little trivial.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their proper hobbies and obsessions outside of what's taken seriously. You'll go mad without them. I mean, after all, have you told Father about the eyes you have for that boy?
I don't tell him anything.
Well...
Or nothing that's important.
Do you really like this collie boy?
In a way, even if we all tell little lies, I feel like he was one of the second genuine connections I've made here. I only say that because out of our friendship, Sakura was the one to approach me pretty much incessantly until I kind of caved. And she'll say that in like a fond kind of way, like she's a little antisocial, so she's like was surprised that she was able to like talk to him easily.
Yeah, well, you know, Sakura's rather big for a woman, especially a Japanese woman, so she can be a little intimidating.
Persistent. Oh, stop moping. Come to this event. Let me paint your nails. And she'll like, you'll notice that there had been a point where Sakura probably just came over and forcibly painted her nails. Like there's nail polish on. She like wouldn't do it herself. Like she keeps her hands nice because she likes to look cute. But
just for my entertainment, what color's the nail polish?
Like neon pink. Totally not a color that she would choose.
Moi.
Yeah. With little, like, some of the nails have little white, like, blossom flowers.
He listens to all that, then, Vlad's gaze changes, and then he, takes a better look around the room, and then he'll just get up and pretty much approach you with a bit of a serious look in his face. You might want to forget about the collie boy.
Why?
Have you spoken to Kenzo at all since you got out the competition? Have you noticed anything up with him?
He seemed obsessive and less himself. Or, I guess, leaning more towards his negative traits.
Yeah, about that. If I were you, I'd just disassociate from the whole group. I mean, stay friends with Sakura because she wasn't with them, but, I have a feeling Kenzo's out for blood and I don't want you to get hurt.
Okay. What do I roll for bluff?
Yeah, you just roll a fast talk to see if he's lying to you.
It's just straight with no mods, right?
You know Vlad and his mannerisms, so you can give yourself a +1.
16?
Based off of what you can see, Vlad doesn't appear to be bullshitting. If anything, you can see that he's taking this a bit more seriously than he's taken most other things.
She'll pause and she'll say, if I have a choice, I will try to keep my distance. But if there's more happening here, and I can actually be useful, I don't know that I could pass that up.
Sometimes it's better to willfully keep the blindfold on. And I'm only telling you this because I hang around Kenzo a lot. And he's definitely given up on some things.
She looks concerned, and I think she's one of those people that if she's close with someone and they have a mutual friend, she'll kind of treat them like she won't be mean or anything, but she also won't like try to get super close to them, and she'll say, "You two have been have they been roommates?"
I mean, I never really specified who Kenzo's roommate was, so I guess they could be.
Great. I just didn't want to say something and then it's like totally not canon. She'll say, "Well, you've been roommates and friends with him since we got here. Are you in danger?"
I'm fine. He doesn't hang around the room often. It's either getting with the gig and the other guys, or he's busy hanging out with Alicia. They've been dating about 2 years now.
And she'll say, "Well, I've decided to pursue course interests, so I'm sure that will take up enough time where I might not necessarily cross paths with them. I'll do my best to stay safe. But if I cross paths accidentally, but I won't seek them out."
Fair enough. Anyway, I've got to get going. I'll stop by later, especially if you need some moral help when your father calls in a couple weeks.
Thanks. And she'll say, she'll say something to the effect of like, "Stay safe," without being too mushy about it. But I feel like probably out of her family members, she actually likes him a little bit more than the others. And she goes, "Hopefully we'll get through this, whatever this is."
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get through it, and then he just kind of leaves abruptly.
Does the school computer have something like I don't know, like a school newspaper or gossip, like
Yeah,
gossip chat or
I
whatever?
mean, this is 2012, and it's like the most prestigious school in all of Japan and most of the world. So sure, there could be like a little newsletter that gets sent out weekly.
She'll try to dig through and see if there's any like mention of Ray, because the fact that he wouldn't tell her, like he was warning her to stay away from him, but he wouldn't give her any details, and she couldn't like suss it out on her own. So she's a little bit like, what is he talking about?
I mean, Ray's mentioned like tangentially once or twice out of like when they talk about the swim club or like the competition, but there's no like red flags.
She'll would she know that Sakura like talks to
Yeah,
that group?
yeah, you'd know that.
She'll like get out her phone and she'll send a text to Sakura, and it'll be like, um girl chat, and she'll like send a coffee, like a coffee emoji question mark. Like girl chat over coffee.
Um, you'll wait a little bit. It's slightly out of character, but I love it as a reply. And then after like 5 minutes, you just get a message back saying "totes."
she'll grab her leather jacket and she'll like make sure her computer's locked, like her, like it's, and close it.
I mean,
So she'll like
sure.
lock up and go off to coffee.
Last time on Regeneration.
Wrong.
do like anime intro thing here. Regardless, last session, Alex was getting ready to face Abdul on his own. Gen's missing, and Ray just lost humanity. Ray.
Yes.
Describe to me how your character would act when they're starting to get very sickly.
So the first thing that at least comes to Ray, at least in Ray's perspective, his vision starts to sort of blur a bit. It's like he sort of starts to blur, and everyone could see him like he's sort of like going back and forth like this, like he's sort of swinging on his feet start jelly, essentially, and then comes the intake of air he breathes. There's like a blockage, and it's loud. So yeah.
Okay. I will take it from there. As I described last session, you're in your morning class, and you don't feel great, but as before, you were only feeling like more exhausted. You were feeling more lethargic,
Yeah.
like the last couple days.
Yeah.
This is almost a whole new thing to you entirely. You're sitting in like the middle of the classroom, not the front or the back. And Professor Wright's giving a history presentation. And your vision's starting to blur a little bit. You go to brace yourself on your desk just to like hold yourself up a little bit. Roll me an empathy. With the understanding of this will play as your humanity. Instead of a +2, it's a -2.
Okay.
If you've adjusted your humanity already,
It
it will automatically. Yeah.
So just empathy, straight empathy.
Yep, because that's gonna roll as your humanity.
Bumble. Well, I love it. Let's go.
Roll me a D100, my guy.
A D100 you ask, a D100 I give you. 26. That's not good. That's bad. Terrible.
Wait a minute.
Lose another 10 humanity.
Oh no! Oh no!
You all laughed at me whenever I mentioned him crawling into a vent right away.
That's about to be the safest
You
place.
all laughed at me.
Yeah.
Ray,
Yeah.
it starts hitting you more like a brick. And as you look at your left arm, you can kind of see what looks to be like almost a clear liquid starting to secrete out of like your wrist to elbow area. It's not thick right now, but it's definitely starting to run out, and it's got a bit of... It's very slow, like if you've ever poured molasses on like a pole or whatever with it just dripping very slowly. It's like that, but it's very clear, and you can see almost like it's leaving a bit of a sore in your arm.
Is it like in my veins, or is it more just...
It's like you're getting small sores on your arms as it's starting to secrete out.
Yeah, he's just freaking out. He's just gonna look at the professor. He's gonna say, "Professor, can I go to the infirmary?"
Professor Wright, I'll stop his lecture on like the League of Nations or whatever. It's not important. And then he'll say, "Hey, do you mind me asking why, Mr. Calhe?"
Not feeling so well, sir.
Okay. Alright. Olivia, take him to the nurse's office. Tatiana will see him. And then she kind of just nods.
Yeah,
and then she'll help you get up out the chair.
Yeah, he's struggling. He's like jelly all over, but he
Ray.
walks. Yeah.
Roll me a body roll -6 on your way to the infirmary.
Okay.
Would it be body endurance to tough out, or just?
I'm just gonna say body.
Just body. Okay. 8.
Wow.
Oh my!
This is a 16. It's not enough.
Okay.
That is literally a 10 and then some. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have a hard time walking. Like you're not really well oriented. There's like a couple times like you need help standing, but you get to the nurse's office, and then when you go open up the door, you almost like lose your footing, and then when you do, you kind of just bump the door, and then Olivia helps you up, and she goes, "Ray, are you okay?" Oh dear.
Spores. He looks at his arm again, like it's like this leaking out of whatever.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. She'll like just help you stand up, and then she'll like knock on the door, and then the nurse Tatiana comes up,
Yeah.
and then she basically like motions for you to sit in the chair.
He sits.
And then as you're sitting in the chair, you were just beyond out of it. Then Olivia, I'll just kind of like talk to the nurse, and then she'll leave, and then she closes the door. Olivia goes back to class. Is there anyone Ray would contact on his PDA right now?
He's going to send a text to Daniel.
All right.
What am I going to send?
Something's wrong.
Yeah, he's gonna send. Something's wrong with me. I'm at the infirmary. And he seems to be he was like gonna type more, but then he stops as he sort of like his hand starts shaking and he drops the phone. Drops the PDA.
I like to imagine that he doesn't even put in any punctuation.
Yeah, no, it's like legitimately it's like all small letters.
Probably got
All
several
small letters,
mistakes
no
in there just from
spaces.
shakiness.
Yeah. Infirmary written like with an eye missing,
So-
or like yeah, it's shit like that. Yeah.
Does he actually send the message?
Yes.
Daniel's going to send a message to the other players. Yeah, just going to send a message to all of them that says, "Ray's sick. We should go see him soon. He's waiting in the nurse's office."
Gen does not respond.
Okay, I'm very, very busy. Sorry about that.
Daniel just kind of nods his head and waits to get responses back from the others. Gonna be waiting a while on Gens.
Gens doesn't show up. Aaron says he'll come by when he can. Ivo says the same, then Vivian says she's on the way.
All right. Are we still currently currently in class.
Yes, but you guys are allowed like 1-2 exits over competition stuff.
Daniel will take that exit on grounds of one of his teammates possibly being incapacitated by health-related concerns.
You will make your way to the infirmary, and Vivian will basically meet you on the way there in her uniform with her guitar on her back. And she'll say, Daniel, what's going on?
I don't know, but Ray sent me a message that was saying that he was in the infirmary, and it was, well, if you pardon the language, it was written very shittily. I think that there is something seriously wrong with him. He may have a concussion. He may have cancer. All of these things undershots of how bad it could actually be.
Vivian looks noticeably panicked, and she was like, what do you think it is?
I would have to see him to be able to run a proper diagnosis, as all I have currently is message. Here, I'll show you. And Daniel shows her the message.
She'll look at it, then just kind of nod her head. Okay. Glass half full, Vivian. Glass half full. Let's go.
I suppose Daniel and Vivian will go to the
You do.
office.
You do. And you notice that there's an ichor on the back side of the door that's facing you guys.
I'm just gonna roll a diagnose illness right now, if that's all right.
What?
Right with everybody else.
What on earth might cause this?
Just pulling up the character sheet. Been a while, and luckily I just boosted that skill. So, do I get any bonus? I already rolled it, but do I get any bonuses on top of that?
No.
Is that enough?
It really looks unsafe-ish is the best way I can describe it to you.
So in typical Daniel fashion, he's kind of blaming himself for not being able to identify this. He's like, my studies must be slipping. That I have no idea what this is. Perhaps we should try and contact Mother Gracia. This seems not normal and very toxic.
Normally I'd agree with that, Daniel. It's just like this is our friend. Do you really want to put him on wait?
No, you're correct. Come on. If this are things that I do, be proud of me. I'm going to approach and open the door.
Before you do, Vivian, I'll stop you and kind of hand you like her handkerchief to like grab the handle.
Thank you. I was going to use mine gloves, but this will work nicely.
Okay.
I'm assuming the door opens, but
Yeah.
if it doesn't, then
It does. There's nothing stopping this door from functioning right now. Plot twist, Ray's really a rust monster from
Except
D&D
for sense.
5e, and the door's rusted and you can't open it.
Yes.
Hinges be
Gen is
damned.
also there. He's a beholder.
No. I'm not a beholder. I'm an Umber Hulk.
Anyway,
An Etten. He's an Etten, and the other head is Alexander.
Alexander's the beholder. He's paranoid.
Yep.
You open up the door and you see Ray kind of just in his chair, shivering like he's cold. His eyes are starting to get dark circles, and I'll let you two take it from here.
Let's try and figure out yet again what the fuck is going on. Another 26.
Okay. I will say, this time around, you do notice that whatever Ray has is not a very common condition right now. Like, this is either the extreme of another sickness, or it's pretty much something you've had zilch experience or study with.
Daniel.
And to answer Chris's out of character question,
One
yes,
moment.
it's still clear, but it's not making more right now.
Fun moment. Neil is going to take one of the face masks off of the examination tray, or if there's one there. He's going to try and cover his face with something, even if it's just lifting up his shirt. Alright. Daniel will grab a face shield and put on his rubber gloves. Then he'll approach Ray. Ray, what is wrong? But what are your symptoms? I'd like to try and help, but I almost don't.
He nods. Cold. Breathing problems. My arm. He spots. I don't know what the hell's going on my arm. Can you see what's happening on my arm?
Let's take care of the issues. Let's take care of these issues in order. The first thing Daniel's going to do is retrieve a blanket and try and wrap that around Ray.
I'm kind of hard pressed to say that there'd just be a blanket nearby. What I will say is that if your character has like the red jacket or still that you got with Akari, you could use that. Yeah, then you can use that.
Daniel will, in the absence of a blanket, Daniel will take off his red sweater and he'll try his best to drape that over Ray, wrap it around him a bit. Okay. Now, what was the second thing Ray said? It was cold.
Breathing.
It was trouble breathing. But that's a little trickier. I don't know the actual medicine that would be utilized to help that.
Issues breathing, you get something that would de-inflame. It's either inflammation around their throat or in their chest area. Like they've got a lot of mucus. So one thing that you could do is you could get Ray something warm or see if he's swelling anywhere.
There's also the fact that if he's kind of scrunched up as you normally do when you're cold, that constricts breathing, so having him open up more, lay flat, stuff like that. Arms above the head.
So, what to do? Be the question.
You're my doctor. For now.
I guess Daniel doesn't really feel comfortable prescribing medications at this point, even as bad off as Ray is. So I think he's going to just make a general med check to try and run him, to try and, like you said, get Ray flat, try and warm him up, try and see if there's anything that he can do about his arm, see if there's any over-the-counter pain meds in the vicinity. Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me like a general medicine or med tech, either or.
No bonuses, I'm assuming.
There's really nothing that would grant a bonus.
Yep.
Like, unless if you're
24.
getting...
Not bad.
Okay, 24. With that 24, I'm gonna say, like, you do, like, a couple things to where Ray is, like, more tolerable. You know, it's like you're still sick, but, like, you feel like you could move short distances and stuff.
Yeah.
That's about where Ray is gonna be for the time being. Were you trying to ascertain anything more about Ray's condition other than what he's told you, is my question.
At this point, Daniel has just kind of accepted the fact that whatever's going on here is beyond his current knowledge. He's just trying to battle the symptoms,
Okay. Okay.
which not great, but given the options, at least it'll make Ray a bit more comfortable.
You do. That works for Ray. The one thing I will say is, do you try to, like, wrap up Ray's arm or put any bandages or anything on that?
Given the fact that it's currently seeping, seems like that might not be the best idea.
It's not
at the
seeping
moment.
right now.
Oh,
Using like it was before, it's like there's a little bit of leakage, but it's stopped, and Ray just has a whole bunch of like black sores on his arm.
so Daniel's going to probably assume that those are bubons, which isn't right. So he's going to just kind of try and advise Ray, Ray, you know, I am not a doctor. I've done pretty much everything that I can think of within reason. Do you know where the nurse is?
Do I remember where nurse went?
The nurse had to make a couple calls, then she was gonna take you right in the room.
No, she left to make a couple of calls. She left me here waiting until she can come back and pick me up again. You sure this is nothing then? Fuck. I feel so woozy. I don't know what happened.
I've never seen anything like this before. If this was a fantasy world, I would say it was dark magic, but this is not a fantasy.
No, this is the
No,
world
this
of
is the world
science.
of science.
Thanks for coming to check me up though still. I don't know, like, it all came, I was tired for the last few days, but then this all happened at once.
Well, I can't tell if it's a parasite or an infection or some kind of illness or even if it's an injury. This is, forgive me saying, but rather remarkable. I am sure that the nurse will be more help than I am. She is highly qualified. Assuming she comes back anytime within reason.
Yeah, that's...
Would you be able to hold it together while I go and see if I can find the nurse?
I think I can, yeah. I think I'll be fine. Just need to get my bearings, but I should be good. I'll stay here.
Okay, Daniel's gonna go back. I'm assuming Vivian didn't follow Daniel into the room.
She actually did. She just kind of stood back and let you two have your moment. Mainly because this is like so far outside of like Vivian's expertise to where she feels like she would have gotten more in the way right then and there.
This is basically like a surfer watching a rocket scientist try and figure out how to change the trajectory of a planet. It's like one of them knows more about what's going on. It's out of everybody's league.
Yeah, pretty much. You'll leave to go get the nurse, then the nurse comes back in. In reality, she had only been out for 20 minutes, and it's not like she had those calls. It's literally like she's been extremely busy. So she comes in, and then she'll basically thank Daniel for like helping him while she had to be away, and then she'll go over to you, Ray, and help you stand up.
I try to stand up. How am I on my legs?
You're able to stand up. It's not like you're great, but you can move right now.
Alright, I'm gonna. I'll try to like use my right arm only on her, like I'm like not using my left arm. Like she doesn't grab me on this side, she grabs me on the right side. So she's
Okay.
So whatever the ooze is coming out of my freaking arm is or well, it's a bit the bed's bandaged up. Is it bandaged up now?
Daniel said they didn't cover it, so no, it wouldn't be.
So he's gonna hold it like.
Daniel didn't know if covering it might cause the infection to increase.
So he's gonna try to hold it so it's like, you know how like you just try to like keep it so it doesn't spew. So just like he tries to hold up a little bit so it doesn't like continue like spewing down.
Okay. Anyway, it's the same nurse from when you went to go see Ivo earlier. She'll walk you to the back room.
Okay.
Ray, when you get to the room, you notice that there's like multiple rooms in use right now.
Okay.
Is Daniel able to follow?
She would have stopped you and said that she needs a moment. Then she'd let you come in.
Can I like, as we sort of pass by, could I like try to peek in one of them as we like pass by, see like what's if there's are these doors like do they just have like windows like not windows like inbuilt windows on them?
The doors really aren't like closed. You can kind of see them as you pass. You know that there's a handful of beds set up with some students with like IVs and stuff in there.
All right. Okay.
And then she takes you to another room that's empty, and then she kind of like helps you lay down, and then she pulls out like one of those thermometers that has the disposable end, and then she basically says, "Ray, open wide." And then she sticks it in your mouth and then takes your temperature. She gets your temperature, looks at it, then you see your eyes are kind of wide. I need you to lie down, and then she'll point to the bed.
He'll take off his shoes, like he'll just kick the shoes off, and then he'll tumble to the bed.
When you get into the bed, she kind of sets up another IV station. She goes, "How long have you been experiencing this symptoms? Where are the full extent?"
They just came. Just the last class I just had. Just right there and there. Just before that, I was feeling a little tired the last few nights. That's it.
Okay. Ray, I need you to be calm. But right now, you have a fever of 115. She's kind of putting alcohol on your arm as she's getting ready to pull the IV. This is going to help cool you. And then I'm also going to have the air conditioner turned to as cool as I can get it here. Just stay calm, and I'll be back with some anti-pain pills. And when we can get that temperature down, I can do a couple more tests. It's just that's what needs to happen right now, okay?
He nods. He nods.
You know how like the super high-tech medical facilities in the real world have those circulating air chambers where like it takes the dead air out, puts new air in it? That's essentially what Ray's in right now because it's the top best of the line school. They have a handful of those chambers, and then she also turns the temperature way down because Ray's heating up at extreme rate.
She's at 115. Is it Fahrenheit, correct?
Yes, but for the sake of reality, assume it would have been the equivalent in Celsius.
Yeah. I'm just checking to ask. So I'm going to. I still have my phone, right? My PDA. Or
yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Pull out the PDA. I'm going to send to Daniel my temperature. as a temp check. That's another 115 Fahrenheit. But Celsius would be like,
I was gonna say Daniel's gonna immediately convert that into Celsius.
You do.
That is a very, very, very high temperature.
yeah.
Daniel's just gonna reply back, "You're in good hands. Try to stay calm. Meditate if you know how."
Okay, thanks. Tell
Okay,
the
bye.
others. Yeah, it says tell the others. Lowercase all. Everything's in lowercase.
Daniel replies very just his last reply, "Already on the way, buddy."
Thanks. Thanks, bud.
The nurse comes back out to see you, Daniel. Okay, I'm gonna tell it to you straight, Mr. Weber. I'm going to need you to leave temporarily because we are dealing with a bit of a new thing on campus right now. Ray's the 5th case that's come in exuding those symptoms. Right now, we're currently in talks with mainland to get some more medical officials out here in case if this is something bigger, but right now it appears to have only been a handful of people, okay? We're going to get his temperature down, and then we're going to do some more tests to see what's going on.
All right, that sounds wunderbar. I hope that I leave him in your capable hands, and I will probably come by relatively often to get in-person updates, if that is all right.
Unless if I'm treating another patient, that's fine.
Thank you.